purpose of today's press conference that we organized, we are making a response to the former councillors who have a press conference with the former mayor president, and then
against the current councils. So we are here to debunk those allegations and then allegation against the lone mayor, the current lone mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda. A statement by the mayor. Yes, it is true that KMC used to have a meat seller here. So these are on the reports in the past entry management report, which was headed by Chairman Bakari Jammeh. It is in the report, and in the report is available. So it's not only during the Ramadan that they sell meat, but before Ramadan they in fact sell meat. All year round they keep on selling meat here. But these people, the time the interim came here, they stopped meat selling in KMC here. So according to entry management, individual collected monthly salary whilst they are not doing any service to the council. These are ghost workers. Every end of month, individuals come here and then collect salary and then claim that they are council staffs whilst they are ghost workers. They are not offering any service to the council. From 2015 to 2016, individual councillors and other members request for payment for birthday celebration. Example, former councillor for Ibotan, Molamin Baji, a check number 006 from Zanet Bank Limited, voucher number PV 150391, dated 21st May 2015, at a tune of $260,000, plus an annual expenses of $500,000 independence celebration in a form of an impress. So this former councillor keep on making a request on behalf of the former ex-president's birthday. So whether he used the money for his personal usage, we don't know, but there are evidence. And then the check number is here, the voucher number is here, and then the amount, that is $260,000 paid to Molamin Baji, requested on behalf of the former president. So, and then again, from 2014 to 2016, every year the same people keep on requesting $500,000 every year. From 2014 to 2016, $500,000, claiming that they are using that money for independence celebrations. In the interim management report, former councillor Molamin Baji, he diverted $816,465.00 from the market use for a cultural festival in Kanelai. So the same councillor Molamin Baji, he took this some amount of money, that is $816,465, and then claimed that it is going to be used for festival at Kanelai. So we all know in the Finance and Audit Act, it is mentioned there, council's revenue must be spent on council, or within that particular jurisdiction of the council, but not outside that council, which is illegal. So again, the report shows that January 26, 2015, council paid $512,400 to Badala Park Hotel through a bank transfer from Arab Gambia Islamic Bank, voucher number PV 150177, for accommodation of 138 people for 6 days. So according to the mayor's statement, this is true. They were paying just whom you knows that they are coming from Casamas, and then this amount was being used, $512,400. This just were lodged at Badala Park. So those who are claiming that the mayor mentioned a name of a tribe, mayor never mentioned any name of a tribe. Mayor mentioned a region, and in that region is outside the country. So in case those who are saying that the mayor mentioned a tribe, they are misleading the public. And then the residents of KMC take notes. They are misleading you. So 2014, according to entry management report, there are only 5 trucks in active service for a waste collection, not 25 tractors and trailers. In the same year, council spent $12 million for procurement of used vehicle from a supplier called Nyagabanda, which are not roadworthy. This matter is still at court with the new council. So these people claim that they were having a 25 waste trucks that we are doing a waste collection. We all know in 2014. 29. Yes, in 2014 to date. How many residents will say that KMC used to collect their waste for you for free? It is not true. And then again, we never find any 25 waste collection vehicle in KMC here. Again, these people went and take taxpayers' money and then buy a used vehicle, which is against the Procurement Act. Taxpayers' money cannot be used to buy a used vehicle. And then most of these vehicles are not roadworthy, and they never collected a single waste or single operation since they were being brought to the Gambia, with one supplier called Nyagabanta. And then still the issue is at the court, and then we can furnish you with the documents. Mr. Rambo Jada received $230,000 from KMC for a community radio station in 2016 through Sanyankunda Enterprise, owned and operated by one nominated councillor, Mollamin Sanya. Whilst Mr. Rambo Jada is not a registered vendor, some part of these radio equipments are delivered, some part are still missing. So, for you guys to take note, $230,000 was given to Mr. Rambo Jata for him to do a service for council for radio stations, and up to date, some parts have been delivered, some parts are not been delivered. So according to the entry management reports, most of the council suppliers used to be councillors. So this Sayamkunda enterprise was owned by a particular councillor called Mohamed Lamin Sanya. So it is in the entry management report, and I will furnish you with those documents. So during the press conference by the former councillors, our response to them, Mayor Bensouda have a cordial relationship with all the staff of KMC. Mayor Bensouda never belittled any staff of KMC. The appointments are made for mayors to be accessible to the people. The reason why mayor make people to take an appointment for him, he does not want his office to be chaotic, for people to say that I'm the first guy who came, I'm the second guy who came. No, you will, based on an appointment, you will book an appointment, you come and see the mayor. So, and then two, if we make an mayor's office to be that much open, at the end of the day, for the mayor to deliver to the public or to the resident of KMC will be very difficult. So that's why there are days that he allocated for purely those who want to see him at his own private office, you can go there and see him. But in fact, the mayor works from Monday to Saturday. People can attest to that. For them, we all know that the former council, they work from Monday to Friday. But for him, he worked from Monday to Saturday. And then again, Mayor Bensouda is the first mayor in the entire KMC who uses his own private vehicle for 1 year without council giving him an official vehicle for a mayor. It is all in the record. The first design for the new building was not suitable for the current operation of KMC. That's why mayor office was moved, but the deputy mayor office remained downstairs. We heard during their press briefing, because most of the previous design for this building was badly been done. It was not suitable for the current operation of the KMC. That's why at the time we came, we found out we have to redo the designing, because how can you have an office without a proper ventilation? How can you have an office without a proper toilet? That's why even currently, even the taxpayers, when they come here, they in fact struggle for them to have access to a toilet and other facilities. KMC owed $3 million to Tombol Clinic in 2015-2016. The new council was taken to court to settle this bill because the medical insurance was abused. So according to them, it's the mayor who stopped the medical insurance. I think they are misleading the public. I think they call themselves former councillors, and some of them, they serve for 2 terms. It is not the mayor who takes a decision. It is the general council. And if you check during the general council proceeding, mayor does not have a voting right, unless when there is a tie. That's the time the mayor votes. And it is not the mayor who stopped this medical insurance. It is the general council. And then notes, during this year, KMC was blacklisted by all the insurance companies. So that's why Mbol Clinic was doing a favor for them. Staff of the KMC, we are going there. Not only the staff, some people are giving it to their personal friends. So the bill was too huge. They were unable to pay it. So the time we were, the time we assumed office in 2018, 2019, the particular state clinic take council to court, and then we have to settle this amount. KMC gross salary in December 2017 on record was 3,068,560.0 bututs as of December 2017. So for them, they were saying that the KMC salary, gross salary used to be 2 million, which means they are misleading the public. The reason why KMC salary rise because of the following. There was 100% increment on pensioners' allowance. I think we all hear that through the central government. Transport allowance was increased from 500 to 1,500. And then salaries increment. In 2021, there was a salary increment, and 2022, there are salary increment. So, yes. So I think these people were misleading the public. So, 26 September 2017, Gangwalk and KMC Rural Infrastructural Projects, KMC Office Complex, Ladukunda Sabiji Market, Private Ward at Bundung, Maternal and Child Hospital, Concrete Road at Talindin Jilifilikunda, Kololi Spy Bar, Ladukunda Welingara Road. So this entire project cost 85,743,282.25 bututs. So KMC counterpart contribution was 8.1% in this. So the total counterpart contribution KMC did was 7,673,708.32 bututs. So due to cash flow in 2017, because this agreement was signed in September 26, 2017, due to cash flow during the former council time, they were only able to pay for only $2 million. That's why the project was very slow. Most of the project was not started during their time as a councillors. So the entry management in 2018 paid only $4 million. So the current council, during our time, we paid about 1,673,708.32 bututs. That's what the current council paid. So if they claim that they are the one who funded all the project, no. It was during our own budget, that is 2018, 4 million is being paid by the interim, and then the last payment was 1,673,708.32 bututs during our time. So the following project funded by taxpayers' money, because they are claiming that we do not do any projects, and all the monies that we collected from the taxpayers' money, we siphon it. So which is not true, and then they are misleading the public. So the projects that we did through the taxpayers' money: 1, construction of Talindin Jilifilikunda Market, Vuwazon fencing, KMC Annex Driveway Multipurpose Center, renovation of Ladukunda Market Plus Extra 5 Market, construction of Ladukunda Big 3 Market, 24 waste compactor trucks, installation of 10 skip bins, clearing of 50 illegal dump sites, payment of staff salary and allowances, construction of Bakure dump site fencing. So this Bakure dump site fencing, I think that councillor who called himself the former finance committee chairman, he was misleading the public. He in fact mentioned GIZ project. There is no GIZ project here. It's called BMZ project. And then he said that that project fence, I think the fast check in fact clarified that one. I think I would refer his attention to that one, that the fencing is 100% done by KMC. So fuel and lubricant for operations, procurement of pickup trucks to KMC staff, procurement of 70 motorbikes for KMC staff, salary increment of KMC staff. So during their time, there was not that much proper mobility for KMC staffs. All those things, we bought all these mobilities for KMC staff. That's why the life of the KMC staff, previous council and then currently, there is a huge gap. So KMC counterpart projects, the projects that they are claiming that they are funded by our partners, not taxpayers' money, that is not true. KMC also did some contributions. So the KMC counterpart projects are SOS BMZ projects. This project, the project included in that project are access roads within the dump site, that is the water and roads, 10,000, that is water and road, tree planting, weighing bridge, and then recycling seats. And then most of these funds are not controlled by KMC, but SOS. They have the project coordinator office is based at SOS, Children Village, and then they are the one coordinating the project, not KMC. So KMC Gunworks project. So this is what they were claiming, that they are the one who, in fact, take care of the projects, whilst they are, in fact, misleading the public. The construction of KMC new office complex, Jiliflikunda Road, Ladekunda Market, Ladekunda Welingara Road, and then Kololis Piper is where KMC spent about $6 million. Not them. They only, in this project, their council, they spent only $2 million. But the rest of the money was done by our interim and then during our tenure in office. But for them, they only spent only $2 million. All these things are on records. So KMC CAP project, that is the EU project. So the project includes 10,000 waste bins. I think every household, we did this launching in a few months ago, last year, and then it was inaugurated and then it was on the TVs. And then weighing bridge at the dump site again, and then 1 waste compactor trucks. And then in the project too, they buy 3 SUV vehicles for the staff for the project. And then 3 planting. So during our time, the time we came in office, so we find out that based on the entry management report, former councils were involved in the illegal leasing of KMC property. Most of the prime land of KMC have been illegally sold to an individuals. Example, that is, or leased to an individual. Example, that is the KMC Youth Monument. A youth monument that is purposely designed for the youths of KMC. It is youths who have been deprived not to use it for free, and then it was been leased to Gamtel. Yes, Gamtel, Gamcel, all these things are on records. Again, the Bagode woodland, where the youths and then the communities of Bakode normally use as their recreational center. The youths of Bakode have been deprived from that one too, and then it was sold to Swami India, or leased to Swami India.
20 million, it was sold.
So, yeah, so again, the KMC multipurpose center, that is just next, that is the Jimpex routes. 2, some portion of that land too was been sold to an individual private, and in fact, most of these lands, they are normally sold to non-Gambians, and then, which is very sad. And then most of these, recently we have a lot of projects for recreational parks that is going to change the life of the youth within the municipality, but most of these prime lands have been sold by the former councils. So for them, if they claim that they have something for the youth empowerment, I think they were deceiving the youths. So again, so KMC did not increase tariffs 100%. They claim that KMC increased tariff 100%. No, KMC, the time we came, that was in 2019, there was an increment in tariffs, but not up to 100%. So again, they were misleading some business community about the partial cost recovery too. That one too is not true. The partial cost recovery is about the environmental impact of a particular business. That has nothing to do with waste management, waste collection. So that's what I have, and then we have few people whom he knows that during the press briefing too, their names have been mentioned. I think they are here for them to clarify themselves. Thank you.
Before that, we have.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think my colleague, Councillor Honorable Karamosise, has done justice to why we are here. For us, it's just more of beefing up what he has said or adding some of the valuable points, especially on the part of how salaries have increased from the $3 million that was being spent by the previous council to why we are spending now $6 million when it comes to salaries. Another important point that should be noted is that they had daily pay for most of the janitors at $50, and when we came, we found that to be very inhumane. We found that to be something against social justice, to see that Gambians were living under the $2 per day United Nations set standards. These and many more reasons were why we increased the daily pay from $50 to $200 for each of our janitors. And I think this is very important to note. Another important point to note is that we had also, because when we were coming, the municipal police was also disbanded. But when we came in, we also began to employ or to form a new municipal police. This increased our staff number too. The other thing was also that there was a payment increment, like my colleague councillor had said, which was from in 2021. and also in 2022, which was a 30% increment and also a 50% increment. So for them to say that we are overspending based on the fact that our salaries have increased would be misleading the public. In fact, what we have done is that we have put dignity in labor and made sure that Gambians are being paid what they deserve. And also, especially when it came to the idea of misusing funds, the Honorable Councillor has mentioned thoroughly how funds were being misused in the KMC before we came into council. And good thing is that we have all of this on record and we will share it with the public for the public to see. You would realize that yesterday when they held their press conference, nobody had a single piece of evidence or paper with them. But what we have done is that we have tabulated everything that will be needed by the media, and before you leave, we will share these evidences with you. With the tractors also, he had made mention, the former mayor had made mention that during his tenure, or before he left 24 tractors and also skip bins here. We will want to assure the people of KMC that we didn't find any waste management tractor here that was usable. In fact, the only one I think that was here didn't even have a windscreen, which was very hazardous for the drivers and also the citizens of KMC. We all live in KMC, we all grew up in KMC. We all know that our garbages were not being taken care of by the municipality. So if you had 24 or 25 trucks in the municipality at that time, where were they and what were they being used for? When you also talk about the medical insurance, he spoke about how we had, General Council had stopped medical insurance for our staff. But they haven't told you that we are currently working on improving health care within the municipality by working with by also working with one of our community development health centers under the leadership of Talinding South. We are currently working on a project with the Council of Talinding South to make sure that we can have our staff to go to our own hospitals. So these are all developments that we are working on currently, and also we will bring this to the public's eye. They also made mention that we are in debt. This is not factual. And in fact, when we came to KMC at the time, we found our accounts in red. And this is not a secret to anyone. And also we have shown evidences to prove these things. Going further, they also spoke about Ami Bensouda being Ami Bensouda & Co. being the lawyers of the council. But this is where we have worked to make sure that there's no conflict of interest. Because I remember the first day we came here, Mayor Bensouda had told us that my family's law firm are the lawyers of KMC. I cannot be the mayor of KMC and still have my family to be our lawyers. From that day on, we sat together as a general council and changed that. He could have been someone that would say, well, this was what has been happening. It doesn't have anything to do with me, and it's about the general council. But he made sure that there was no conflict of interest and made sure that we did the right thing. And on that, we want to thank him so much. And Mayor Bensouda has been one of the people that have been really fostering unity in the Gambia. They have tried, by all means, to try and change the words that he said during one of his meetings in London Corner. Even yesterday, so disappointing that a senior citizen like the former mayor of KMC, Colley, will go on to say that Jolas are proud of who they are and that the mayor was trying to bring ethnocentrism within the municipality. We want to make it categorically clear that this is a wrong statement. The mayor has never in any of his statements mentioned any ethnicity. In fact, what he said has been backed by proof that we have seen that people that came from outside of the Gambia and from a certain region came to the Gambia, and those bills were being footed by the KMC. When you talk about that region, majority of the people that live in that region are not even Jola. Majority of the people that live in the Casamance region are Mandinkas and Fulas. And the good thing about Mayor Bensouda is that nobody can pinpoint and say that he comes from any ethnic group. This is why I believe that he is the unifier of this country. And this is something that we have to embrace as a people and acknowledge, that he is someone that identifies as Gambian. Because nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Wolof, nobody will tell you Mayor Bensouda is Fula, nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Mandinka, nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Jola. So these are the things that we need to empower, and these are the things that we need to embrace to see that we are able to push the identity of Gambia and not a certain tribe or a certain ethnicity. They had also made mention that, that we have given contracts to our party members, that we have given, we have salaries and for our senior party members, and these are all false information. And we have always said, because they per se are saying that they have access to our records, because all they were saying yesterday, they had alleged that came from the records, and they have people giving them those information. If it is true that we are paying Fal and Sonko and Aji Amseka salaries, why don't they tell the people giving them the records and information to give them evidences of those two? So these are the questions we will also want to ask, and we are hoping they will be brave enough to also show evidences, like they have called on yesterday to have a press conference. They should also show evidences. You don't call, Gambians are not gullible. Gambians are not people that you will call today and just sit in front of the media and speak without giving evidences. We have evidences, we have vouchers, we have invoices that can prove that they have done corrupt acts, and it's time for people to take accountability for their actions. Thank you very much.
Councillors, for your wonderful press conference. I'm joining this press conference for the simple fact that I was also mentioned during their press conference. It is rather unfortunate that when a position holder, somebody who serves at the higher covet of our municipality, will not have anything to say other than pointing finger to someone who have been very supportive to him throughout his tenure. I don't want to mention politics, but I may, because these are one of the reasons why people are accusing and pointing fingers to people. I was a very staunch supporter of Yankuba himself, and by extension the former president, that everybody knew I was the regional youth mobilizer. By the virtue of my citizenship right, I need to, support any political party I want to. So I was very free to support him, and in fact, one of his right hand. But yesterday they had a press conference, which was very unfortunate, that I am given a position at the council here, or I am frustrated politically to a level that I have to join them in order to salvage myself. I said this is not true. I am promoted based on my performance in these institutions. I have been here for over 30 years, and I am serving diligently, and I was serving from one unit to other. Unfortunately for me, for this time around, a new unit was created out of my own commitment, out of my own work, out of my, good intentions that I have for the council. I was singled out to head that new unit. I must say kudos to these councillors who have seen it under any other circumstances that Lamin can do this job. That's why I'm given the opportunity to serve as any other Gambian. So as a matter of fact, I want to refute that statement. I want to say it is very unfortunate for them to organize such a press conference, mentioned, and they said they were citing example of me and Bibi Dabo. Unfortunately, they get it all wrong. These people can bear me witness. Since they came here, I have never been in their political party. I was not even supportive to them. It was always a joking relations between me and the current mayor. Whenever he sees me, he will tease me. APRC, I will say UDP. And my very first time of meeting with him was, my first word I tell Mayor Bensouda was, I have done everything humanly possible for you not to come to this institution, but it's God who endowed it for you, God who destined it for you to come into these institutions. And that's it. I'm a Gambian, a genuine Gambian who is serving an institution. Anybody who feels, or anybody I feel he is performing better, I should join him, obviously. These are one of the reasons that compels me to join Mayor Bensouda administratively, wholeheartedly, work with him without any other ambiguity. I work with him diligently. To a point, a standing ovation was given to me in these very chambers. So when the councillors deem it necessary that Lamin can run this unit, that was the time they gave me the opportunity to run it. In fact, I think qualifications are based on your outputs as human beings. Qualifications are based on what you do, and if you can do it to the best of your ability, that's the time people rate you. I develop my own activity plans. I develop my own daily work plans with my staff. I prepared my report and submitted to my line of directors. I have never been torn away that what I am doing is not right. So as an outsider like him, after knowing my potentials, I would rather say these people know my potentials more than them, because they did not harness my potentials. After having done everything for them, they did not harness my potentials. I would rather want to applaud the Mayor Bensouda and his team for knowing what exactly I can do, and I'm given the opportunity, the privilege to do it for the people of this municipality. I thank Mayor Bensouda for the wonderful, trust they have in me. And I believe with the support of others, I will excel. My role I'm serving as, in this institution, I'm the manager for serving anti-littering. And I am calling everybody to join me, because these are concerted efforts. Without the public, I may not be succeed, or the institution may not succeed on the aspect of anti-littering. So therefore, I'm using this opportunity for every member, every city dweller to come forward, join hands with me. When I said me, I mean the institutions. I am only serving at the helm of affairs and anti-littering, but does not mean it is mine. I am calling on everybody to join hands with me. We work together to realize the dream and aspirations of these wonderful councillors, because they had the foresightness. It has never happened here before. Nobody has thought of creating anti-littering. It is them who created, because they knew it is part of their mandate. This anti-littering was created, NEMA Act was created in 2007. I could vividly remember. I was lucky also to serve them during the APRT era. I was lucky enough to serve this institution as one of the interim committee member. During my time as interim committee member, records are there for everyone to see. I was putting emphasis on this anti-littering. I was all along yearning that the opportunity will be given to me to put at least credit on it. And luckily enough, I am given the opportunity to serve. So therefore, journalists, I know your responsibilities are to disseminate information. And I would love if Yankuba, the way I have listened to their press conference keenly, let him also, and his team listen to me very keenly. I have the qualification. I am qualified enough to serve this institution. By the virtue of longevity, I serve in these institutions. And all what I am doing was to the interest of the institution. Chairman, I feel they have done the right thing. I thank you all. If I may take anybody's time, people are, signaling me that I am spending more time. But thank you very much. And we are getting used to each other now. Telo, Gainako, and on GTTV. All of you, I thank you all for your wonderful listeners. Thank you.
Right. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Yes. Actually, my name's Bakari B. Dabo, commonly known as Bibi Dabo. Generally, I don't want to comment on this matter, but when my name was mentioned, then that is the point that I have to come and then clarify issues that are of great concern. And really, I'm so much disappointed because when I listened to this conference, actually, I saw no merit, absolutely, of holding that conference. Modlamin Baji in particular mentioning my name, that I was frustrated. I was like, what? Because Modlamin himself knows me very well, and everyone who sits out there at that conference knows me very well. Because we all joined this council the same day. We were all sworn in to office the same day. I was a councillor elected representing Bakau Newtown Fajara Ward. Mayor, former Mayor Yankuba Colley was a councillor representing Talinding Ward in 2002. Modlamin Baji, a councillor representing Ibo Town in 2002. All those you saw, or the press conference panel, we were all former councillors. And so many things happen. My advice to them is to shut down their mouth, to keep quiet. Because we know so many things and we don't want to say that. Let them not scratch the old wounds because it's not important. Let us forge ahead to have a new Gambia. This is new Gambia with new ideas. And that's what this administration under the dynamic and visionary leadership of Talib brought here from 2018. He's saying Adama Barrow, Adama Barrow. Yeah, all of them seated there never liked Adama Barrow before. They forgot that. At the Congress in Buyam, they forgot quickly that I wrote the resolutions, I wrote the reports. They forgot quickly that I have evidence of all that here with me. Let the sleeping dog lie. You see, I never want to comment on this. But I was a manager in 2015, and they know who Bibi Dabo is when it comes to my work. I am competent, I'm efficient. And they know that. When I was a councillor, I was one of the best, among the best councillors. And we have councillors who can attest that. Musa Mendy, living witness. Before we made Yankuba Colley himself as deputy mayor, they all knew. Member Gasamai was seated. They all knew how Yankuba came to be a deputy mayor. They knew. Let them not make me talk now, because I don't want to talk. Because they know very well. During our caucus, when we start voting for Yankuba to become a deputy mayor, who won that? They know. Not him. But Ganao Yala Mata Muneka deputy mayor. Ganao Yala. Let him ask member Gassama, former councillor. Let him ask Pa Usman Fati, former councillor. Let him ask Modlamin Jame, nominated councillor for youth, former councillor. Let him ask all those who seated there how he won. I never spoke about him. I never spoke about anything about them. I'm doing my work as a citizen. In 2015, I was a manager and traveled to Ghana. I came back from the training on disaster management. So 2015 and 2018, over 3 years. So how can they frustrate me? Council here, deployment is key. To redeploy a staff to another unit is key. Modlamin Baji was a market collector before. And he knew that before he became a councillor. He was a staff of KMC. So anytime a staff can be redeployed, I was redeployed to Charles Yao, and I'm very much happy to go to Charles Yao, because do you know why? Now I know education system. Because I was exposed to another level of development and how education is run. So kudos to Talib and his staffs. This council is transformed. The strategic plan he talked about, I was the focal person. I was a key player in developing that strategic plan. He knows that. The Park Peck report, he knows that. I was the architect, and Jaja Cham was supporting me. The waste management plan, the same thing he was talking about. But comparatively, you cannot compare the two. the current administration, you cannot compare the two. The revenue now and the revenue before, you cannot compare the two. From 2002 is here. Our actual revenue was 26 million. And in 2003, 36 million. Today, what is our actual revenue? You're talking about 250-something million. So a great significant improvement have been done, and services also to the people. There was never a Ward Development Committee offices before. And this is a provision in the Act that there shall be, not even may, there shall be a Ward Development offices that should be created by the Council for WDC to operate effectively and efficiently. Let him not quote Local Government Act before me. He knows me. Let him not quote provisions in that act. So you cannot compare the two. In real terms, today, you will not be able to distinguish who is APRC and who is UDP and who is NRP in this institution. So it's not about frustrating. It's not about frustration. It's about reality. You come to this institution, which party you belong to? During the celebration of the former President Jammeh, those who are in APRC as we speak will come and celebrate it here. You can wear any t-shirts you want, and while you are a staff here today, you dare not do that yesterday. Let them not scratch the old wounds. So the most important thing we should talk about is the transformation of this institution. At what level is very important. There are so many things that happened before. What they have read here, the bills. I was the one who always escorted cultural troops, 30 cultural troops for Kanilai Cultural Festival. I was also, every cultural festival, I was the head that lead the group to Kanilai and spend 1 month, 10 days. I'm not saying it's bad. It's the fact. Why are they refuting it? And tribal issues should not come to play. Mayor Bensouda never mentioned any tribe. All the journalists who followed us on this mayoral tour actually know he never mentioned that. People coming from Casamas. Who are those? Is he referring to Jolas? Is it they are looking for political score? That can never be. My mother is a Jola from, the father of my mom came from Fonyi Kandung, Jejukunda. I am more of a Jola than most of them. Only, I think, Mudlamin Baji is a Jola who speaks Jola. The rest may be Jola surname, but they cannot speak Jola. So this country, let us not use tribal line to score points in politics, because we're dividing ourselves. We're creating problem. Mayor Bensouda is a development-oriented individual, and he transformed this council with his councillors. What we are experiencing today, what this municipality are enjoying, there is no case in point that you can record in the history of this council. The tractors they're talking about, please, I beg them. How we acquire those tractors is from Yajame. Because they were assembled here at Kotu. and we procure them from the government of the Gambia. But they cannot tip up, because that was the reason why it was very difficult. Because the labor force you use to remove the waste from the tractor, when you get to the dump site, most of our laborers died. Because they were dealing with hazardous waste, one. Two, it was labor intensive, very high on them. They cannot sustain it.
How much were they paid?
And how much were they paid?
$50 per day.
$50 and moved to $75. Today, how much are they paid?
200.
More than $200 to $300 a day. That's what they're receiving. So in actual sense, what we're talking about is this council is, you cannot compare it. So I'm appealing to all of them. The Nyangabanta issue, I will not talk about it.
Talk about it here, because you are facing the media. You are facing the media. Talk about it.
No, the reason why I don't want to talk about it, they know. Many issues. None of those 3 browsers are in use. Go to Annex today. How can you procure a vehicle and it is not roadworthy? It has not service council a day. And how much do you spend? $12 million. Taxpayers' money. I never work in the revenue earning unit. My field is development. I serve the community. That's the more reason I serve under this capacity as community service officer before, and then promoted to assistant manager, and gradually, then finally, community services manager. My work is the people. That's what I know, and that's what I do. But I am telling you that Mutlamin Baji, I'm advising you, don't mention my name again, because what I'm going to say next, you won't like it. And anyone among them. That's why the rest don't mention my name, because they know very well. We all came here together as policymakers, and we know so many things. Let the sleeping dog lie. Let them come and support Talib in his development agenda. It's second to none. In those days, you go to the markets, you see maggots everywhere. I have the pictures in my laptop. I have gone around everywhere in this community. You go to Salt Samba Street, very close to the primary school. Maggots very close to the classrooms. Bakau Market the same. Independence Stadium opposite. Waste is everywhere. Ibo Town, you go to Talinding. You go to Latrikunda, behind. Charles Jau is the worst. Even the students can attest that. My friend, we're not talking about that. When this council came to power in 2018, we have seen what they have done for the people of this municipality, saying that they should not ask for payment on waste collection. That's why we didn't do well in those days. That's why anywhere you go, you see maggots. Waste is, we cannot manage waste because we allow people generate waste and they don't pay for the services. In every developed country, you go to England, people pay rates, but yet you collect their waste and they pay at the same time. If you generate waste, you have to pay for it to manage it. That's why we could not even have 1, 2, 3 vehicles that were roadworthy in those days as revenue, as waste collectors, as waste collection vehicles. But today, how many vehicles? Brand new, compactors. If you look at our rent, the amount of money we spend in those days on hiring, you'll be surprised. Even at the dump site. Giving contract to people, Ajamsek and others, they forgot so soon. Contracts were given to people here who were staffs of KMC. They forgot so soon. They forgot so soon that contracts were given to people who were staffs of KMC before, in those days. And contracts in millions. Records can show you. Dressing the dump site. And when they know that the money is going higher, because you know, in contracts, there is a ceiling. They will break it into 2 or 3 slots. There is no point to elaborate on those things. What I will advise them is let the sleeping dog lie. This is not politics, this is development. Let them allow development practitioners to do their work. It's not a point of caricaturing each other here. And tribal issues, let them just shelf it. They cannot gain any political score, as far as that is concerned. The people of this municipality are conscious now. They know what used to obtain and what is obtaining now. Everybody knows that here. Even you journalists knows that here. Today you come to this municipality, you come to this council, and before, some of you who are old enough to tell the story, what used to obtain is different from what is happening now. It is a very full-fledged institution that is efficient and that is doing its work without any interference. So my word of advice finally to them, Modlamin Baji, keep quiet. Keep quiet. How you obtain your BMW, keep quiet. Keep quiet, please. Please. We're not here to spend our time in talking to each other this way. But you mentioning my name, I get so mad. Because you're not supposed to do that. You know me very well. Thank you very much.